The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host for another episode of Financial Greatness. And as we start the day off, we're up about 8 points on the S&P cash, 1.9 billion shares. So a little bit better, not as good as we've had a couple of days, but volume starting to pick up in these markets. And 1.9, I guess in the last 6 months, probably not anything to sniff about or be snotty about. Normally a year and a half ago, we'd probably had 2.8 billion shares at this time on the New York consolidated tape. But it is what it is. But we are up. No real big surprise as we start the day off. I said last week that it certainly looked to me like they were going to hang this thing up for the Alibaba IPO come hell or high water. And it certainly looks like kind of that is something that we could see. But of course, we've got a couple of things in the monkey wrench here. We've got expiration, and we also have a Scottish vote tonight. And a lot of people are going to be thinking about that. And we'll see what we can get going here. I actually wanted to show something, and maybe I can if I can figure it out. I put it in my newsletter this morning. Move to new window. Okay. And see if I can zoom this in a little bit. It's probably pretty close. We'll take a look at it here. But one of the things that should have everybody kind of a little bit nervous on is looking at the summation index. For you that are new to the show, I haven't talked about it for a while. It is an oscillator of advancing and declining stocks on the New York Stock Exchange tape. And one nice thing, I guess a little newer version of this chart, shows the last 14 days kind of blown up. But of course, a line going up means that more stocks are closing higher than they did before. Line going down means more stocks are going down than went up, especially over the last few days. This oscillator probably should have really turned up with the 30-point move we had in the S&Ps, and it has not. That pretty much tells you that you've got increasingly narrow leadership in the marketplaces. And when we talk about market fragility, which is another great book by Nassim Taleb, about how things gain strength, I think about political leaders that get a free ride from the press seem to always pretty much end up eating it in the end, because they never got that thick shell they should have gotten from being asked lots of questions. You find out later that they are the emperor with his new clothes and feet of clay. But it's kind of like a bird. You know, the old thing is, if you help a bird out of its egg, and if it doesn't have to pound its way out, it will never be strong enough to exist in the wild by itself. And I think that there's kind of a symbiosis in that. I don't know if I used that word correctly, but something like that. I think you know what I mean. But that's kind of what's out here. If the market doesn't go up with a majority of stocks, I'm always nervous. And that's where you see a huge amount of volatility in a market almost always. And that is when you see divergence between the way that the summation is moving, or the vast majority of stocks closing lower, opposed to a very few but vocal stocks, because they're in the S&P 500 or in the S&P 100 or in the Dow, skewing a market that, New York Stock Exchange, somewhere around 3,300 stocks with volume each day that are actively traded. A lot of those others are just kind of, they may move out there. Maybe it's a water company or something else. But of the universe of stocks that we have to trade, fairly interesting. So we will keep an eye on that and see how that develops. See if there's anything else out here. I just wanted to look at this market real close while we are doing this. Yep, 9 points. 2010.83, of course, on the NASDAQ, 45.93, and on the Dow, 11,000. No, that's wrong. That's volume. 17,262 on the Dow. So just wanted to show that real quickly. But that is something that you need to be watching fairly closely out here. And that is a lot of the surprises come in the market when the majority of stocks are on the way down, not when the indexes are on the way up. And the summation is on the upside. Basically, the stocks that aren't in the leaders that will be sold last tend to be the last to run. And you really want to watch when that summation index turns down, but the indexes turn up, and that's exactly what we've got going on here today. In history today, in 1926, the Great Miami Hurricane smashes into Florida with 138-mile-an-hour winds, killing 243 people, and in a single devastating stroke, ending the speculative Florida land boom. When people talk about selling you swampland, it is from this period in Miami, where they were going back in to the swamplands toward Okeechobee. If you've ever seen a map of Florida, there's a big kind of lake in the center of it over by Miami. That's when we see a great deal of I don't know, there's probably been 4 boom-bust strikes in Florida going back to this first one in 1926, where everybody tried to get out of New York in the middle of the winter and come down to Florida and spend a few months. And all the rich people, of course, about this time, most of the land had been sold, and they were going in there and draining swamps to come up with land to sell to people. But, of course, years later, most of that land just filled back up with water, and pretty much useless land. But I've been over there quite a bit. I always remembered that there used to be, still is a racetrack there. It's just not called Moroso anymore. But if you went off on the last turn, you'd go right off into kind of nice little pond that had lots of alligators. And more than a few people, no matter how bad they were hurt, came running out of that pond when they went off track racing there to get out of there pretty quickly before the alligators came and got you. And, of course, many times they would like chewing on the tires of the bikes. But I digress. Anyway, a big boom out here, and proof again that there's nothing really new on Wall Street. What's happened before will happen again. What else do we have? Do as I say, not as I do. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett on Thursday again defended Burger King's purchase of Canada's chain Tim Hortons, deal criticized by many as a tax inversion plan. Of course, William Buffett tells everybody else to pay their taxes. Meanwhile, he fights billions of dollars that the government says that he owes, but not willing to pay that. And when it benefits him, it's more than good that other people pay taxes. But if he can find a way around it, he does. And as a hypocrite, a main hypocrite out here, I'm a hypocrite too, so I'm not going to say that he's not. But I don't have a national stage where I just go out and plainly lie. always bring this up once in a while because I know we get new listeners. My introduction was to Warren Buffett telling everybody how Coke was going to the roof, and then the next reporting session I saw just how much Coke shares that he had sold in that period while he was out telling everybody how great and how it was going to the moon. Of course, it cratered shortly after that. I think that's about 1998 or 99. But he got off with a good deal as he exited stage left. And one of the reasons why I've never warmed up to Mr. Buffett too much. Of course, we've got the Scotland vote tonight. I'll probably be taking a nap right after the close today and try to get in about 8, 9:30 and see if there isn't any money to be made. And because there probably will be some volatility as soon as we start seeing some surveys come back in. But it looks to me at least we're not going to hear anything till about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight on this side of the pond, and that would be early. This may be one of these things that goes into tomorrow, but at the same time, probably some decent volatility if we do get word early, and probably a night that will pay for it if you stay up and try trading the ES futures, because I think that they'll probably take a fairly decent swing, and by tomorrow morning they'll get these things so that the S&P can come right back and close probably just a little over 2,000, kind of like today. So I digress again. Of course, another big deal was that FINRA, which we talked about yesterday, marked its 75th anniversary today. Created in 1939. It was the Maloney Act, not the Baloney Act. The Maloney Act in the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 took 5 years for them to get set up. Hey, we're in about 5 years of Dodd-Frank, and it doesn't seem any closer to being half over. But same kind of thing, regulatory entity that would enforce security rules and promote and equitable principles of trade. Some people yesterday commented that FINRA was there to crush the small people, and certainly that's a great deal of what they do. They make sure that the crooks get reported fairly quickly and keep the hoity-toity big street names of Wall Street clean and pure as the wind-driven snow. And we went through just how many people that get reported a year for insider trading, and about 1,500 people get reported. A lot of malfeasance out there that FINRA does report. Of course, the biggest ones probably not reporting as much as you would think. And that would be it. We'll be back in just a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Andy Hecht's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Microsoft is in round 2 of its previously announced layoffs of 18,000. Today, letting another 2,100 people go. Of course, most of these people were in the Nokia division, about 3/4 or 7/8 of them. The rest of the people are in legacy things like XP, and just easier to let them go than to spend 6 months or a year getting them ramped up to all the latest Windows 8 and Windows 9 that will be coming out in January. They've got 747 of those laid off in Washington State today, but the remaining will be mostly in places outside the United States. And they continue to get rid of the dead wood, and I'm talking about it in my Tech Insider column tomorrow, really figuring out that they're not going to be hanging around supporting software like XP for 12 or 15 years again. The cycles will probably come down to 2 or 3 years for support, where they're going to have new versions, and the ability to run an operating system for 15 years is probably gone. That's probably was a relic of all the problems with the anti-trade commission stuff that they had and the monopoly issues. But those being gone now and not having anybody watch them are going to go right back to what they did, which is constant and never-ending improvement, and that will be interesting. Apple had a Apple had a letter out from the CEO last night, and it had me kind of scratching my head, and I see other people also are starting to get the idea that maybe there's a little bit more to it, poking a few fingers at Google and privacy, talking about how they are no longer going to just give over data to cops without a search warrant. And even if they do, they're not going to keep the keys, but very dodgy about how they're going to do that. My guess is that it hasn't changed the NSA being able to read your email. And the big problem now is that the cops don't have to get the search warrant. What they do is the NSA will tell them somebody's doing something bad, and they will flat out lie about how they heard about it, and then come back and bring it up in court anyway. And this whole idea of finding an alternate theory on how you found the data has become somewhat problematic as it is ensnaring a great deal of people, especially in the FBI, to basically lie on the stand under oath. And it's becoming a bigger problem. It's kind of a hard thing to prove, but my guess is that a few of these people are going to eventually get caught about this issue. But everybody always thinks everybody's pure as the wind-driven snow in the FBI. A lot of these guys, it's come to light, have lied under oath. And a lot of these court cases may be coming back in the future. It's just going to take one of these guys to start ratting out the people up the food chain and finding out that it is a systemic problem. That is, that they are getting the NSA to tell them about people and then lie about how they found out about it, basically illegally. And since both are a division of the U.S. government, it is, as they say, fruit of the poisonous tree. My guess is that there's some bad news coming out from Apple on the security issue on the data that they've given the government, probably a lawsuit out there that we haven't heard. But this is the kind of thing that makes you say, huh, and that they're trying to tar and feather Google at the same time. Kind of interesting out here, but I always think that there's an ulterior motive when we see some of these things, and certainly we could be seeing that. What else? Amazon women from the moon. I didn't have a time to clean this slide up because this data just came out, so I put it up as a reminder of it. Amazon women from the moon was a great short in a movie, kind of like Saturday Night Live, a bunch of skits. But this was a movie within a movie, kind of funny. But Amazon is going to the moon. We talked about this in the Tech Insider probably, I think it had to be last summer. They'd gone out and fished out of the water all the Atlas V engines that they could find because no one knew how they were designed, and these were the biggest engines ever made. But none of the drawings existed. Nothing existed that actually worked. So old Mr. Bezos went out and snagged them. Well, there was a reason for that, and we'll talk about it when we come back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we go back to it, just wanted to talk a little bit about Amazon. Last year we talked about them fishing out the Saturn V engines from the first stage, those giant things. And kind of funny that they never figured out why it worked. They only knew it did work, but they had to spend a great deal of time really just trying different things to get the nozzles right for the fuel going into them. They became very unstable and would blow up. And they tried different stuff, and finally they got the pattern right. But it kind of looks like just like a shower head underneath there, if you've ever seen the one there at the Space Museum over there on the west coast of Florida. But those aren't the engines that actually work. Those were prototypes, and everything in that unit over there was a prototype. So there didn't exist a working Saturn V engine that anybody could go to and look at again. And of course, Bezos is in partnership with Lockheed and Boeing with an engine deal for Big Lift satellites. So, Mr. Elon Musk is not the only guy out here in the space race. We've got Mr. Amazon Jeff Bezos in it too. But he went out, fished those out of the ocean. He's going to give them back to the, I think, the Smithsonian. But in the meantime, they're taking the things all apart and figuring out exactly how they actually work because no one knew. Even the Russians lost the diagrams that they stole. So quite interesting out there how everything keeps going on. Anyway, we're going to get to some stocks here fairly quickly. I wanted to see just how some of the stuff's going, and I'm going to sneeze. So everybody just, I can feel it coming on. So just hang on here for a moment of silence. And we're back. It was only a 2 sneezer, so we'll be okay. Anyway, I wanted to get to some of these stocks that were moving, but a lot of these testing. Now, I know we've got Andy Heck coming on. He used to stalk me in the 3 o'clock hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now I have a 2-hour restraining order keeping him back till the 5 o'clock hour, but he still stalks me. This is just from afar now. What I did, I sent him something just because I know that he's fairly bearish on energy out here. But I did see something interesting in this. And let's go back here and look at it a little bit more. And what is most interesting to me is this very, very nice and flat confluence level where it bounced off of on September 15th at 92.99. You did have decent volume down there, which means we're probably going to test that again. But what I suspect is that that long-term confluence area from about 93.90 to 93.80 is most likely it's going to be gapped over. We had some, decent volume out there. It was a little less than the previous low on August 7th at 17 million. But we continue to see what I think is a very decent support area on the XLE. And normally what will happen on these confluence areas that I think are going to get broken is you're going to see this thing go sideways for a while. It's going to gain energy. And when it does break it, it's probably going to gap right over that 93.80 area. Probably could see as high as, we got into 95, 96, but you could see maybe as high as 96.62. So you could still have a little bit more room up here to the upside before you'd want to set your stop. But if we do see continued pressure on commodities, I suspect it's going to happen next week. Just know that you're going to have to bust through that area. There's going to be some very decent support. And if it tries to enter day, it's probably going to bounce off of it. Looks like one of these things where it's going to just gap down, and it's going to gap down hard. I don't know if that's tomorrow on the news from Scotland or maybe news that comes out next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. But certainly looks like a lot of these commodities out here are pretty weak. I saw that, which I thought was one of the more interesting charts out here, especially during options expiration. You don't get a great deal of what's going on, but it's interesting. Now, some of the other stocks that are up here with light volume is Acme. And this one, you just see these stocks up here hanging with a very light volume. Really needed about 3 million shares from the February 28th high at 63.15. Came into it with 1.8 million shares. That we got a second retest of that, almost half volume. Pretty amazing, and that we're actually over that on Akamai, also very interesting. But especially when you look at the move in Akamai from May 7th to the June 24th high, you had kind of a nice little pullback here in the ABC department. And then you've got the nice move now from August 8th up here to the September 18th high. Now, maybe this is completing at ABC, but boy, I tell you what, in the world of ABCs, this says $68.64. But for those to work, you need to break them with volume, and volume even decreased, and of course has gotten through that February 28th high, but with no volume. Now, if you were going to buy this, you had everything you wanted to get on the retrace, and that was The gap of February 6th popped up very strongly, and on 14.5 million shares. You came in back with it and down to the April 29th. What can you say? Light volume, 3.5 million shares compared to the 15 million shares. It kind of popped up, came back down one more time again, and now doing this ABC. But I'm going to give Akamai 2 more days. It needs to have significant volume, 3.5 million shares for it to keep going, or this is going to be a failed ABC to the upside. There are some stocks out here to the downside that look like they are starting to base out. And one of those, in fact, a lot of these stores, mall stores, have just absolutely been hammered to a miserable extent. And what we see in these certainly is some very light volume, especially the last couple of days out here for BB stores. This thing's about a penny stock, but energy's kind of starting to come out of it. And, it is fall, Christmas season. You're just going to start seeing some mall traffic as soon as the bad weather starts setting back in the next month or two. And some of these may be set up for a decent trade, especially when we see almost all the volume coming out of these from now on. Broadcom, a lot of these semis just continue to look incredibly weak. In the case of Broadcom, we are looking at a highs out here going up against that 22 million share high, and we're right into it. That 22 million share high happened on July 23rd, $40.74. We are through it, probably going to close above it up here today. But you needed a sign of strength. Yesterday you had 4.6 million shares. Today, 2.3 million shares. I really hate to see these highs come in if you are bullish, especially in options expiration week. Look for this to show a little bit of weakness tomorrow if this thing is going to turn right back around. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. And you can email me at path@tfnn.com and, or, of course, post a message in the den. Energizer Holdings, another one of these big industrial companies. Of course, Energizer selling all those batteries up here on fairly light volume. A lot of these stocks have gapped up and really haven't filled to a big extent those gaps up. On this case, it's the April 30th gap up with almost 5.2 million shares, a monstrous gap. And we know that over time, most of these gaps are going to get filled. The question is, when is it going to get filled? But certainly, you wanted to see some volume in the range of 600,000 shares from the July 1st high at 123.84. But last 3 days, 395,000, 355,000 as we break that high, 185,000 today. Again, as you break these highs, close above them, I give about 3 days. If these stocks don't get volume in about 3 days, good plan is to think about a short and a pullback into the trading range. But my guess is that we're probably looking at Energizer coming back and at least testing that gap, and pretty good trading range in that. Huntington Ingalls Energy Industries, excuse me. So we'll take a quick look at that one. Forgot what this does. Engaged in designing, building, overhauling, and repairing ships, primarily in the United States. For the Navy, by the way. And it looks to me like this is one that's up here on next to no volume. Maybe this will change with the third war in the Gulf starting. I guess that's what I could probably call it after the Obama speech yesterday. Gulf War Part Tray. But certainly up against these previous highs. The March 7th high at 106.59. 860,000 shares. Really haven't ever touched it. Tried it several times, but we are through it. 104,000 shares today. 271,000 shares yesterday. If we go back to the last push, 311,000 shares on the 10th. A lot of these, like I said, stocks is hanging out here on very light volume. And always you need to be worried about it if we come in to September, go up and can't find anything. And, of course, a lot of these stocks, like I said, have some huge gaps that have never been filled, and you always have to worry about those. In the case of what I'm looking at right now is Heartland Express. What can you say? This thing, I don't know if the volume's right out here today, but it's incredibly light. Heartland Express, of course, a trucking company. And when you look at this one, you really have to scratch your head. But energy is rapidly coming out of some of these transportation companies. And with energy coming down, the energy price coming down, the question is this as good as it gets? Of course, when we look at the last couple of highs out here, mostly in the range of 700, 900,000 shares, something like that. When we look at the July 24th high, 900,000 shares. So when we look at the last few days and see 456,000, 467,000, 540,000, 437,000 yesterday, 400 and some thousand, 300,000 yesterday, and today less than 100,000. You really got to start scratching your head up here. Just how light can the volume get and these markets hold up? My guess is they can hold up another couple of days, but we're looking at a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday crossing of the Rubicon, and that's going to be these stocks either need to get volume or probably will come back finally into the trading zone. I said earlier in the week that Tesla, you'd probably get another chance at it, and that I would hold off, and I think this is where you're getting it. Looks like we've got kind of the ABC, or at least a reversal, or I would call that a reversal, a retracement on its way. And for the retracements for Tesla, we can easily see several things. One of the things I did want to show you is that Tesla came right down to its confluence area. That's 243 to 247. We got spiked down to 249, came right back up and started moving up. Now you're looking at the 318 that we got into today, which comes in at 265.28. Your 50% retracement at 270.24, and your 618 retracement, which is what I think you're probably going to get Monday or Tuesday, some kind of spike. That's probably where you'd want to look at taking the shot at this thing, somewhere between that 270 and 275 area. And if the market does roll over next week, you're going to have, I think, a good opportunity in this short squeeze, which is probably going to have no volume like we have today. Well, look for them to come out with some kind of news. This is generally the modus operandi for market operators to come in here and some bogus story, some let into gold thing from Elon Musk, he can take air and make a battery out of it. There'll be some kind of bizarre story that everybody buys, but it's kind of a little flaky. And that's normally the last little move that these things have. But that's the safe way to play it. Could it fall apart tomorrow? The answer is yes. The problem is the only safe play is to let this thing get back up where your risk reward's a little bit better. But I think you've got a pretty good shot at it. We're seeing that up here with the 318 retracement, or 381 retracement today. We'll be back in just a minute.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And just wanted to remind everybody, you've got one day. I don't know what you're going to do tonight, but I have a feeling that the first bite of dinner, the first drink that you have during dinner, the first time you flip the light switch on in the bathroom, or maybe you turn the faucet on and put your hands under it and you feel the cold water run over it, and you're going to remember that it's time right now to go ahead and go to the TFNN website and sign up for the contest, the trading contest. We're going to give 10 grand away. We're giving more away. They've added some more stuff to it, and all you have to do is sign up to even participate. So just make sure you do that. I've got some sad news. Nobody probably knows this gentleman except me, but I did want to say Godspeed to Frank Kinsey. He was one of the first racing schools I went to when I was learning to road race motorcycles. I'd raced dirt bikes as a young man. Came to road racing bikes at the age of 38 when most people have retired. He was a great man, and he had lots of racing schools, spent lots of time with him on tracks up in Savannah, up in North Florida, a couple of the tracks up there. And my big breakthrough in becoming fast was being able to spend a lot of time on the track and do what they said, the no brakes drill, which is kind of funny in that you find out that you can be several seconds faster road racing by not using the brakes. And once you figure how fast you can go not using the brakes, when you add them, you're twice as fast again. But I think I took about 15 seconds off a lap one day up there. Later on, went to and spent a lot of time on the track at his schools, just getting more experience. I was up there. If anybody watches a lot of TV, it used to be another channel. Now it's sports, Fox Sports. Dave Despain. I was up there riding around during the day that he got his license. And he's a noted sports guy. But Godspeed, Frank Kinsey was always a wonderful and smiling guy at the track. And Godspeed, hopefully standing on top of the podium today. Anyway, we're going to look at a few of these other stocks up here. What else do we have? Oh, we were looking at Tesla. I like that setup, especially the same thing, though. But my guess is when Tesla breaks, we're going to see that 250 probably gapped down and through. And I think we've got a lot of setups like that where this market, if it's going to break, you're going to see it come down to confluence levels. But this time, it's probably going to gap over it in some kind of event. So you want to be watching those confluence levels because a lot of them are setting up. We talked about Hertz. I had a caller in here, and I said that my thought would be that as soon as the CEO was replaced, that you probably want to short it at that point. Certainly looks like it. You got higher volume down here. Looks like Hertz is going to get back into that $26.16 low where it gapped down a little while ago. But always hard to see a stock gap down, come back up on somebody like Carl Icahn getting involved in it, but see it come back down. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to, and hang on for the next 2 hours of the Tom O'Brien Show, and then my long away stalker with a 2-hour restraining order, Mr. Andy Heck. We'll see you tomorrow.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.